The US has strongly condemned a Russian anti-satellite test that forced crew members on the International Space Station to rush into their spacecraft for safety. It's been labelled a reckless and dangerous act and puts international interests at risk. Joining us live now is our US contributor, Michael Ware. Michael, good to see you. We don't often hear this kind of thing. It certainly sounds concerning. How concerned should we be?
Well, put it this way, Star Wars is a lot closer than you may realise. And this Russian test on Monday just highlights precisely what you say. Unless you're really paying attention, you wouldn't know that there's currently an arms race in space underway. I mean, these space nations like the US, China, Russia, they're up there playing games we don't know about. I mean, satellites secretly stalk each other through space. But what we saw on Monday was particularly scandalous or controversial. The Russians fired a missile from the Earth up about 500 kilometres and destroyed one of their obsolete military satellites. Now, that satellite exploded and has now created a debris field. Now, they've already said there's about 1,500 pieces they can track so that other spacecraft can avoid them. And they can track pieces roughly the size of a grapefruit. The problem, though, beyond those, is that the explosion also created hundreds and thousands of other tinier fragments that a rocket scientist here today described to me effectively as bullets, because they're tiny pieces of this satellite whizzing around at over 15,000 miles an hour. Now, around the world, everyone condemned this test. NASA called it unthinkable. I think the French put it best. Without mentioning Russia, they lashed out at space vandals. And what in Washington, the State Department says, apart from the immediate danger to the space station that this caused, because this explosion, this test took place 80 kilometres above the space station. The broader point, they say, is that this shows how disingenuous Moscow is when they say we don't want to weaponise space. That's now clearly untrue. I mean, there was just last year, they had a Russian satellite creep up on an American satellite, and then, according to the reports, it ejected a small object at high speed. Now, the countries around the world that we've seen do this before are China back in 2007, America, India, and now Russia. And you have to respect Vladimir Putin's cynicism. Just 2 weeks before this test, he opposed a resolution at the United Nations to create norms and rules to prevent precisely this kind of thing. So there's a space race and an arms race going on up above our heads.
Yep, just when you thought we had enough to worry about here on Earth, conjuring up all kinds of images as Putin as Darth Vader as well. Michael, we'll have to leave it there. We'll speak soon.